Hey, folks, this is Brian Blessing. Hope you're enjoying the Hockey Betting Podcast. We have a couple chuckles, try to get you a lot of winners. Check out the hockeybettingpodcast.ca. We got a number of books that have joined up with us and have incredible sign-up offers for you to play hockey with that first deposit. Get on board. Go to the hockeybettingpodcast.ca. Click the link, sign up, and have some fun with us.
You're listening to the Hockey Betting Podcast with your hosts, Brian Blessing in Las Vegas and Cam Stewart in Toronto. This is the Hockey Betting Preview for Monday, February 15th, 2021. And now live from Las Vegas, your host of the Hockey Betting Podcast, Brian Blessing.
Well, we're racing to the start of a brand new week on the Hockey Betting Podcast. Cam was racing to the studio to get ready to do the show today, and it kind of looked like the last lap of Daytona. Oh my God! Were you watching that?
That's the best. Yeah. Hey, what are we? We're driving through the pits of hell. I wish I had McDowell at 125 to 1 or whatever the hell it was. Some couple guys I know bet.
I had 4 guys. The accident took them all out.
It's great. That's the thing about NASCAR. Like, you think the NBA you could tune in for the last 2 minutes. NASCAR you could literally tune in for like the last couple laps. Like, you don't even need to watch the whole race.
Restrictor plate races. Yeah, no, that was insane. Yeah. My Lord. Okay, that was interesting.
Yep. But I will say this, Brian, the hockey's been really good recently. Like, I'll tell you, man, that Saturday was one of the best days I've had in a long time. I was actually getting tweets from people. Hey, man, congrats. We read your and Brian's picks and like almost swept the board. It was incredible. Like, I wish we could have more days like this and hit a little bit of burger in golf. So you know what, Brian, times have been worse. The weather sucks, but the money's coming in. So let's hit some winners this week.
Well, the fun thing is we had the day game Sunday, Washington and Pittsburgh. And honestly, Cam, you tell me, I mean, they won the game, but I mean, how can you step up to the plate and play Pittsburgh under anytime?
You
can score, and then the goaltending is just eesh.
No, that's a good thing that we can, put in our back pocket, right? Like San Jose, a lot of the time the same thing. Like, we've seen changes in a lot of the teams in the league, right? Like, that's the thing about the Pittsburgh Penguins. Yeah, they'll score 5 or 6 goals and they'll give up like 4 goals, 5 goals. Like, all their games are going to be shootouts. And I think, Brian, we've talked about the Leafs and Oilers and other teams with that 7. I think the first 7 we get is probably a Pittsburgh game.
All right, so we rock and roll. On a Monday, President's Day, so it's a holiday. We do get an afternoon game in, so you probably have a little.
Is it President's Day? You know what it is here? We have loser holidays, Family Day. Oh, okay. Family Day. I don't have a family, so what? What's the deal?
Have a family.
Yeah, you got to have a family to have the day off. Oh, it's so stupid.
You got your mom and dad. You got Canada Day.
No,
you got Victoria
there's no holiday. You just know it's not like a holiday that they give you off either. It's just a day. Like, we're still working. Listen, not like Christmas.
Well, you're
Family
You're
Day.
just voicing the frustration, and maybe it's a Canadian thing. You're willing to voice the inferiority thing.
Oh, shut
up. And I just keep it all in.
Yeah,
no, wait a minute, because
I'll give you a President's Day right hook.
Hold on. I mean, my inferiority thing is also yours. I mean, but you've got them stacked up.
Yes.
Is everybody under the sun gets a day or a month, right? Wait a minute. We're redheads. Okay, I mean.
Yeah, what about Kick a Ginger Day? Can we get it off? Let me hide from the people that want to kick a ginger on Kick a Ginger Day? I'm with you, Brian. I think it should be a damn national global holiday. Redheads should get a day off.
I just sit here. Whose day is it? Whose month is it? What's going on? I'm sitting there going, where's Redhead Day? I mean, you try growing up as a redhead. When you're the only redhead kid in a grade school, you try doing that. I mean, you talk about alligator skin. I mean, I was ready to be a doughboy in 3rd grade. I was like,
me too, buddy. Yeah. You got carrot top, stupid ginger, dumb redhead freak. Yeah, you hear it all. Yeah, Kick a Ginger Day. Yeah, Cam's got red hair. Let's beat him up. Oh, it sounds like a good plan. Anyway, what do we got going on here?
Arizona, St. Louis,
Arizona. Early game.
This is it. This is the end of the 7-game soiree. Do you believe?
You know what? Thank bloody I gotta tell you, if I see another St. Louis Blues Arizona Coyote game, I'm bringing out my gun. Like, I can't deal with this crap anymore. I gotta be honest.
Good games. They're good games.
They actually have been. But I'm just, you know what I mean? I'm just like, St. Louis is playing Arizona again, but I don't know. What do you do with this one, Brian? It's early start time for everybody out there too. So 4:08 Eastern, 1:08 Pacific. What
Well,
do you think?
Let's see here. St. Louis.
It's a tough game. I kind of want to go to St. Louis.
St. Louis continues on. Let me just double check St. Louis where they're going here. Is this the end of it? I mean, are they going home? They're the end of the long thing, trapped on the road. Like mentally, are they checked out? They're going to Minnesota for 2 more.
God,
I'll tell you, for the most part, I'll tell you, mark this one down. When the Husso kid plays, you want to be playing them over. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, he's not ready. I've seen him. Yeah,
they win with him though. They win with him.
I know. Well, that's the thing. Like, and the way hockey works, right? When the backup comes in, you all know. You don't tell the kid that we don't trust you, so we're going to have to play better to help you, and that's what they do with the backup goaltender. Like Husso's not. I thought he'd be better than this. To be honest with you, they said he was like a can't miss prospect, but there's a lot of missing going on. I agree with you.
The one thing about it, I would say, I'm seeing some of these games, and I'll get into it with you a little bit. Vegas played at San Jose. I mean, Vegas playing low-scoring games. We'll get to them in a second. But there was a real bite to the first time they saw San Jose. I mean, they were running goalies and things like that. I've come up with this little belief system, and let's make this an overview because we got to get on from St. Louis, Arizona. Mm-hmm. But we thought all this hate was going to build up. Hell, the first Battle of Alberta, was like all skate. Yeah. But I think there's a thing going on, and it's going to heat up as the standings and the points, really matter in the desperation cases. But I think these guys are looking at each other, and like, who was it? Anaheim in here the other night when Vegas had Nosek got yanked at. Well, mm-hmm. we were worried about Vegas, and hopefully those guys are okay. This is what Anaheim's saying in the post-game press conference. I think these guys are all going through the same thing, and there's a real sense of camaraderie out there, and the angst and the hate just hasn't been there. And even the St. Louis, Arizona thing, these guys like 7 games in a row, they become best friends.
Yeah, no, it's an excellent point you bring up, but we haven't really talked about it. It seems like hockey used to thrive on, like the vengeance and, you don't like the guy and a cheap shot artist and you come back and you defend your team. It's more like the NBA now. You're like, hey, how you doing, friend? Nice to see you. I'll see you at the bar afterwards. You can't go to the bar because of COVID, but you get my drift. You know what I mean? There's a lot of, hugs and handshakes, it seems like, rather than punches to the face. It's you're right, Brian. That's a really good observation. And I guess it's just the way with the shortened schedule, the way the league is set up. There's a lot of things right now. It's kind of like us versus the world mentality. You're right. Hey, come playoff time, that'll end. But right now they feel like friends.
All right, buddy. Hey, there's going to be big news in the NHL. Buffalo Sabres sighting today.
The Sabres.
My God! Back. Now listen, they got back on. Back on the ice.
Islanders.
They got back on the ice this morning, and you're literally going, "Who are they going to field?" Because they still had 8 guys on the list. Well, basically the entire defense was back on the ice for the morning skate. It looks like the only guy of note that won't play for the Sabres today, even Kruger, who had it and said he was really sick, will coach the game. Reinhardt's the only guy that's going to miss the game. And I believe the Sabres realize this. We think Pittsburgh's phony. But you got to believe if you're the Sabres, you're focused on Pittsburgh and the Islanders if you're going to make the playoffs. Like, if
yes.
Does that make sense? I mean, for the 4th spot, it's between – I mean, you could throw the Rangers in there, I guess, certainly. But if you're a Buffalo team coming off the shelf with a boatload of games in hand and you're really not that far behind – these are the guys you better beat.
Yeah, I got to tell you, though, I'm not sure. Like, I know the angle worked before, but the Islanders are a little bit, they're kind of finding their groove again. They beat Boston 4-2. We were on them that night, Saturday night. They finally put a complete game together. The juice is pretty low. I think the Islanders are a better team than the Sabres, Brian. It's the way it is. Like, they should be able to take care of their business today, I think.
I don't know, man. There's a lot of firepower on the Sabres. There is. And a lot of new faces. The one thing, right out of the gate, remember at the beginning, before we started all this, I said, they're going to end up making at some point the Sabres total 6.5 because they've got so much firepower, and their power play is good. I think their defense could be a little off kilter. Olmark's going to have to big game. But it's plus money to go over 5.5.
Yeah,
and Eichel's talking about, I got to break out. I'm going to start taking over games. I'm not going to defer anymore. I like the over.
I agree with you 100%. I'm shocked. I can't believe that we're seeing a 5.5 on the board.
Well, because they've been staring at the Islanders for weeks and they haven't seen the Sabres.
Well, the thing about it is they also think all those games that look at the teams that come back from COVID, a perfect example, despite Vegas playing great defense and getting good goaltending, it's a 1-0 hockey game. I think the books are trying to play the trends. These first games back unders, and I disagree with this one. I think the Islanders and Sabres, we can get to 6 goals in this game. I agree with you. You talk about sneaky overs. This is the one. I think the Islanders are probably going to win like a 4-3, 5-4 type of hockey game. I like the over.
Yeah, I like the over for sure. Ottawa, Toronto, again, when you're talking Toronto, you got to think over. But I mean, again, this number.
But Brian, take a look though. Like this is the thing that we have to. We look at these things. Take a look at Toronto's games. How many unders they've played?
They've been lower scoring.
Yeah, it's the attention to defense, right? Ottawa's not going to light the lamp. They know they have to play a defensive game. People are blindly going to bet the over. What is it, 6.5? I get it. When these teams get together, though, there usually is goals. That's the thing. But
Murray and Anderson.
That changed in the Montreal series, though, with Montreal and Toronto. All the games went like they're going under. So I got to tell you this. Ottawa is a dog that you could look at. Unless you're putting Toronto in parlays, like look at the line, -300, -350.
Yeah, stay away.
Give me a break. Ottawa is one of those teams. They always play Toronto tough.
Well, it's Ottawa or nothing.
Yeah, it's a parlay killer with Toronto. I can tell you that, because if Ottawa wins, you're done, and people are going to blindly. This is the game that you put in the parlay just thinking it's easy money, and nothing's easy in this world. So I would look at Ottawa actually as a huge dog. Ottawa or nothing. I agree.
Well, the goalie's
plus
always
1.5. Sure.
By the way, you want a general rule of thumb on the hockey betting podcast? To me, you shouldn't be laying, when you look at the menu that's always offered, not always, but most days,
yeah,
you should never be laying more than a quarter or 30 cents in any hockey. Turn the page. If you ain't playing the dog, go somewhere else. Yeah, but why would why are you sitting there? Like you said, if you're ultimately convinced, then you throw it on a parlay, but you shouldn't be laying any hockey game more than 30 cents. That's my MO. I won't do it.
Yeah, no, and you're better at that than me. Sometimes I will go up to 50, 55 cents, and it can get you into trouble. You just got to be confident with the pick. But that's what I talked about, Brian, with the 2-game round robin parlays. That's why I do it, to plus money. Like, for example, if I like a game, we'll get to some other games later on, but like a $1.60 favorite, I'll get a dance partner, right? You know what I mean? And get it to plus money. I agree 100% with you, though. You can't be laying juice like that all season long. You'll get smoked.
All right, Chicago and Detroit. By the way, check out the website, thehockeybettingpodcast.ca, thehockeybettingpodcast.ca. We've got the introductory offers, number of books that have jumped on, and they've provided some incredible sign-up opportunities for you. We hope you'll go there. Click the link, sign up, and have some fun with us. This is actually one that's on my card today, Cam. Chicago is $1.40.
Here we go.
Detroit. The total is 5.5 shaded to the under. When you're looking at these kind of teams, they're like get-well games for both teams. Where, hey, we're hockey players and we've got skill sets too. And but even though Detroit is Detroit, Chicago is no world beater, but Chicago still has some firepower. Yeah. I think this game is a sneaky over. I really do think they're going to score goals in this game.
I agree. And I'll tell you one thing about Detroit. They're a great team to bet on when you just against a good team that they give them no respect a lot of the time. Like, Brian, they've been good to me this year. Like, they're not a great hockey team, but they've been, look at the Florida Panthers. They beat Tampa Bay before. I know they got smoked the other time, but Detroit didn't just beat them on Super Bowl side 4-1. They come up and they show up as big dogs in this game. This is a little bit different though, because Chicago, you only have to lay a quarter, 30 cents maybe. I think this line will go up too by the time we're taping the show, but this is a tough game. So I agree with you. I'm going to lay off a side. I'd probably look at Chicago, but I like the over in this game as well. I think Detroit will get, I think it's going to be a 4-3 game, 7 goals.
Yep. No, that's absolutely on my dance card today. Now, then we go to, I can't go near.
I am. I'm putting my foot down. I am putting my foot down.
Putting my foot down.
And let me tell you something. The plus 1.5s that I've been talking about, people, people listening to the show with Dallas, they've been saving my butt, and we've been clipping on parlays. Do I want to lay 70 cents? No. but they are parlay material. I might take them in regulation.
Okay, no, you didn't let me finish. I said I wouldn't go near Nashville.
Oh, good. See, that's the thing. I thought
you didn't let me finish.
Sorry, kick a ginger day.
No, I mean, hey, congratulations. Nashville's got a win in the last 2 weeks.
Nashville sucks. Like people are complaining about Dallas.
And the win was against Detroit.
Yeah, and they barely
Dallas
beat
has
them.
just been playing Carolina.
Yeah, and Dallas has been blowing leads and coming back and losing. This is a get-right spot for Dallas all day long. Dallas, I'm in. I am in on the Dallas Stars today. I don't care. Get it early. The juice is going up. I see various lines, 50 cents, 65 cents, whatever. I like Dallas. I think I'm going to take them regulation so that I don't have to lay that number. And I'm taking them everywhere, Brian. They're parlay material. They're going to win this game. I don't trust Nashville. I think Nashville stink. I think they have horrible goaltending. And Dallas, on the other hand, is a better team that's had a little bit of bad luck. Give me the Stars.
All right, here we go. Winnipeg and Edmonton starting a series. Edmonton is $1.35, $1.40. The total is 6.5. Cam, there's a reason I'm playing it, and just because it's been working. First game of a new set over. The rematch on Wednesday, I'd be looking to go under. So I'm looking for goals with Winnipeg and Edmonton starting a little mini series. They played 2 games earlier this year, and Edmonton won 4-3, and the Jets won 6-4. So I'm going to look for that trend to continue tonight, but I will be really looking for the under in the rematch.
I agree, and I got one for you. I agree with the over. I think Winnipeg's worth a look as a dog in this spot. Edmonton's one of those teams that are a false favorite. Yeah, they got good stars on their team. They could win the game. There should be goals. I like the over, but I'm also going to look at Winnipeg. They're a dog in this spot. They can beat Edmonton. That's the one thing about Edmonton. Their goaltending has been better, though, when Mike Smith has been back, Brian. That's the only concern that I have. Like, if it's Koskinen or anybody else there, who's the other guy? Skinner! Yeah, Stu Skinner. What a name. What's your name? Stu Skinner. Yeah, I like Stu Skinner. What a great handle. The guy, like Stu Skinner? Like, that's a fantastic name. But I will say Edmonton's goaltending has been better with Smith, but that's the thing. Edmonton wants to play an up-and-down style with the stars that they have on the team. They like to play kind of a risky type of game, and Winnipeg has to keep up with them. So I agree. I'd look at Winnipeg as a dog, and I like the over as well.
And the get-out game two more. But Calgary, Vancouver. Calgary's a quarter on the road, the total 6. Vancouver, we've seen this before. Remember when they came home and they were desperate? They had to win a game, and they beat Montreal. Then Montreal destroyed them the rest of the series. Vancouver comes home. They're a human pinata. They win the first game, but then Calgary comes back and beats them. I think Calgary probably walks out of here with another one. Vancouver,
I agree.
A dumpster fire.
No, but you know what? That dumpster fire was good to me. You eventually have to put your foot down, and Saturday night was a good night for Vancouver. That was almost their season, right? Like, they lose that game, they're done. They win 3-1. I don't know, Brian. Like, I like Calgary too. I'm not as confident that you are. Vancouver, I think, showed a little bit that last game, but you're right. Like, they still have major problems in their end. The goaltending's not good. Defensively, they have a real problem. Calgary they are the better team right now. So yeah, and the juice isn't high. I lean Calgary in that spot too, but I don't know. Is Vancouver going to turn it around? That's the question. Are they?
Well, it's the goaltending that's driving you nuts. I mean, they got players there. I mean, you get the game-winning goal in the first game from Tyler Myers with a minute to go, and then they get an empty netter. I mean, it wasn't like they killed him.
Yeah, I know. It's an issue.
All right, here, I think you got to throw this one in there. Anaheim's at San Jose, and San Jose's -3 nickels. The total's 5.5. This angle has worked, Cam. San Jose's coming off, it was a pretty physical game with Vegas, hard-fought game. Vegas sneaks it out, gets out of Dodge. But here's the deal. Anaheim also is coming off a pretty interesting set of games with Vegas. They lost 5-4. Thought they were the better team in the first game. And then they won 1-0. So they got a split out of Vegas. Actually could have won both those games. But here's the big boy for you, Cammy. That last game, I don't have a calendar in front of me. It was the 11th. The 14th is a Sunday. I don't know.
15. 4 days ago? Yeah.
4 days ago with Cammy.
Yeah. I don't know where I am
no, buddy. They have to have had 2 practices leading into this game. Teams are not getting practices. How many times have we talked about it? If you get some practices in, it's a big plus for you when you get back on the ice. I'm playing Anaheim just because it's not the rest per se, it's the fact they got to practice.
Yeah, I like Anaheim too. San Jose's, they're just a team that I've been fading a lot this year. It's worked a lot of the time. Anaheim's actually been good. People talk about the goal scoring and stuff. Like, they could play defensive.
500 hockey.
Yeah, what's the problem here? They're a lot better than people thought. They thought they were going to be the doormats of the league. I don't trust San Jose as a favorite. I don't care if it's 20, 25 cents.
They're in the hunt.
Anaheim or nothing.
Anaheim's actually in the hunt. And, the San Jose, boy, you talk about stealing money. Yikes. The money they're spending on Carlson and
oh yeah, and all those guys. Exactly. Yeah, no, it's a train wreck. Here's the tip for San Jose. They got to basically say, veterans, everybody's open for business. Like, just shut it down. Like, you're not going anywhere, and that's the thing. Like, if me and you were GMs, we sit down, we have our cup of coffee, Brian, you light up a Marlboro, and we go, how are we going to get rid of these guys? We're going to stockpile picks. We're going to build again, because right now you're horrible. You're one of the worst teams in the league. You're going nowhere, and you have huge contracts, right? If some team wants to take a shot, everybody's for sale, in my opinion. Yeah, quack, 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 quack. Give me the Ducks.
All right, Islanders. So we go to Tuesday. Hour 2, we get the rematch. Islanders, Buffalo. Let's see what happens Monday night. Yeah. My belief would be maybe not, because it's back-to-back nights, but they're coming off a ridiculous layoff. If Ullmark, I should say it the other way as well. Hold on, let me double-check the matchup.
I think Ullmark is
it's Ullmark and Varlamov or Monday.
Yeah.
The Sabres specific, if Ullmark plays good, I could see them rolling him right back because they've been off a long time. But, if Hutton comes in, whatever, we like the Monday game to be higher scoring. And if that holds true, the rematch, then the Islanders would maybe dictate the play. And I think game 2, pending if we get the high scoring game Monday, I'd look for game 2 to go under. That's just been what we've been doing. It's how we've been rolling.
Yeah, it's harder with Buffalo and the Islanders because Buffalo can play the over games, but I see exactly where you're coming from. The way I look at this game is if the Islanders win on Monday and it's like a heartbreaking loss for Buffalo, or, even if they get blown out per se, I'll come back to Buffalo. I think they understand like they have to take one of these games. So the Monday result will dictate my play on Tuesday. I'll probably go with the other team, Brian. That's the way it's been going. And
the number that's posted, Cam, is the same number that's up there for today.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, though, if the game tonight's a 5-3 game, the total that's posted for tomorrow at 5.5 will be 6.
Yeah, and then we're getting a little bit of value on the under. I agree with that. I have no problem with that. I'll probably go with the loser of the Monday game with my side.
Tuesday, it's however Monday's game go would point you in the direction. Washington and Pittsburgh, let me tell you, Pally, I think there might be some serious bad blood in this game. Did you see Crosby with the slew foot on Dowd?
That's the thing. People don't understand.
My God,
Crosby's a good kid,
that was filthy. And the other kid
he does some
penalty.
sneaky, dirty stuff too. When he gets angry, like he.
Do you remember the love tap? Do you remember when that was? I'm telling you, it was the end of the road with the O'Reilly thing in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Was at the end of the year, he said, "I'm tired of losing," blah, blah, blah. And they got rid of him. But it was in the middle of that season. O'Reilly's skating in, and Crosby comes up from behind him, up and underneath from behind, with the love tap to the berries. And dropped them. and I mean, that happened to me in a beer league game. Guy did that to me. I skated the length of the ice and crushed the guy. And I'm like, to this day, I cringe because I hit him from behind.
Yes.
And what I could have done to the guy. But O'Reilly did nothing.
Yeah.
But how about Crosby? What was the other thing he did? The slashes all the time where he's breaking guys' fingers.
He's got a dirty stick. And the thing about Crosby is he gets away with it because he's a friendly guy. Exactly. Yeah, that's the beautiful thing. It's like in golf that we talked about. Like when Patrick Reed cheats, they're all over him, right? But if Rory McIlroy has a similar situation, they're going to give him the benefit of the doubt. That's the way it is in hockey with Crosby. But I know he's got a dirty stick and he does dirty stuff, even though he's a hell of a player. Washington will be the play. You can bet it now. I am in. I don't care if they lost that last game to Pittsburgh. They got to wake up. This team has really been struggling. It's funny. They get COVID and they actually play their butts off. Now they come back with their team and they're sucking because you know what? They're not trying. It's like they won the Stanley Cup again and Alexander Ovechkin's in a river in Vegas drinking Stoli. instead of the water, right? Like this guy partied for 2 years. It's like, get off it, bud. You guys got to wake up. They're a better team than that. Give me Washington. They'll get revenge on Pittsburgh. I'm in on the Caps.
Like, you ever see the commercial with Jamie Foxx, the betting app commercial?
No.
You haven't seen this thing? It's on everything.
Brian, we live in different countries. I get different commercials.
Yeah, but you watch sporting events, Cam.
I do.
They're on football games.
Tell me about the betting app.
He's standing there. He's standing on the water of the Bellagio fountains, and he goes, "You know what to do," and he hits the button, and the fountains go off behind him.
Nice. I like that.
No, it's been on all the football. Anyway, I keep looking. It's like a game of Where's Waldo when you're a little kid in the Highlight magazine and the doctor's office. I keep looking in the water behind him to see Ovechkin's head.
Exactly. More Stoli, please.
Now, the joke would have been funnier if you'd have seen the commercial. I don't know what country you live in.
I know. I like Ovechkin in the fountain because I know it's vodka in there, not water. Give me Washington.
Nashville, Dallas, rematch.
Here we go.
Well, again, they're playing back-to-back.
Under?
Let me double check real quick. Hang in there. Live.
It's hard to take an under, though, with Nashville's goalies.
That's what I'm looking for here. You got Saros and Hudobin going on Monday night, the day we're taping.
Hudobin hasn't been very good, and Saros has been
it's going to be. Here you go. Hold on, buddy. It's going to be Rinne, who's 3-5, goals against 2.74. Edinger is 2-0-3.
I like Edinger better than
with a 2.31.
I like Edinger better than Hudobin now. I think he's been playing better. I don't have a real opinion on this game, so I'm going to have to pass. Sorry, I know we have opinions on almost everything. But Nashville, Dallas, to me, 2 days in advance, I have no idea what I'm going to do with this game.
Minnesota was last seen February 2nd. They're at L.A. Do we take the team coming off the shelf because that's been working?
It has. It worked, but you know what? It could have worked for Colorado, but they ran into a hot goaltender in Vegas on Sunday, right? In a 1-0 game. I would lean Minnesota.
Watch this one. Watch this one. If the Sabres beat the Islanders, how's this for a correlation?
Okay.
If the Sabres beat the Islanders Monday off the long layoff, play Minnesota against the Kings off the long layoff.
I agree.
Because for whatever reason, usually it's the teams that have been playing you think they have this big edge, and we thought we were the smartest guys in the world. Oh, Florida's just getting their season started, and Chicago's been getting killed, but they've been playing. Chicago will beat them, and Florida took their lunch. Yeah.
No, I agree with that. We'll see what happens. I have a lean to Minnesota anyway, but I'll like it even more if that scenario plays out. Couldn't agree more. Minnesota's had time to practice, work on some stuff. In Colorado, as I mentioned before, they had 30 shots. They ran into a hot goalie, and Vegas's goalies are good.
Speaking of Colorado, Vegas, it's the rematch.
Colorado. Don't even have to tell me twice.
Vegas has been, I don't know, man, they're just winning and racking up points. Fleury is standing on his head. He is the number one goalie on this team. Leonard's hurt.
True.
Fleury has come back, and they are playing their lungs out for him in front of him. But again, this Vegas team has these moments where they can't put it in. In the game with Colorado coming off the long layoff, they found their legs halfway through that game and started to come at Vegas a little bit. I think Colorado's the play here. I think they got their ice legs underneath them now.
I agree. And in a heartbreaking loss by 1 goal in a 1-0 game, I think they're going to be even angrier. So Colorado will make my card. It'll be played. I like the Avalanche.
Good games. And then don't forget they got the outdoor games. It looks like they're going to get these things in.
Yeah, well, they're going to Lake Tahoe, right? How do you feel about that? Do you have an opinion?
I want to see.
Is it good? Is it bad? I'm kind of like, what? We got COVID and stuff. You're going to Lake Tahoe? I don't know. It just.
Here, watch this. Here, watch this. It's a podcast.
Yeah, listen, it's a podcast. Sorry.
Yeah, listen to this. All right.
What?
I'm looking ahead. On the Saturday and Sunday. Oh, boy. Saturday's 40 and partly sunny.
Hi, everybody. I'm Brian Blessing, News for Buffalo. I'm your meteorologist.
The Sunday game. I don't even know who's playing which day now. Hold on.
I don't either.
Hold on. Sunday, the outdoor game is Philly and Boston.
That is correct.
The Philly-Boston game, we'll get to that later. The Philly-Boston game is going over. I'll tell you that right now. It's going to be 47 and sunny. I mean, the goalies are going to be needing sunglasses in the glare.
Right. Yeah, instead of a mask, they put blue blockers on.
Yeah. Yeah, and then to make it worse, that'll be the day they roll out the glow puck.
That's it. Everything's clear. They block out the sun. Oh yeah, I gotta get me some. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. These blue blockers are okay with me. Hey, Aisha, it's a fact. Yeah, these blockers, they go with my hat. Everything's groovy, not a slur in my speech. This is what I do up and down Venice Beach. That's the blue blockers rap. Watch more infomercials like me at 4 o'clock in the morning. Brian Blessing, you're on the clock.
I muted myself to not ruin that. That was beautiful.
Yeah, I used to watch the blue blockers rap. Anyway, you said it, man. That ice is going to be glistening. I don't know what they're going to be coming out with, but they better get some thick ones. Like it's going to be Goal City.
Did the lovely Lisa get you some rhythm for Valentine's Day?
Yeah, she did.
That was good.
She's actually laughing. She's watching her show because she doesn't really know what I'm talking about with hockey, but she enjoyed the rap. What was the last game? Jersey and the Rangers? Are we Jersey and the Rangers?
Yeah.
Rangers. I think the Rangers have actually found a little bit of life. What do you say, Brian? Like, is New Jersey going to come back down to earth despite me liking a lot of young players on that team? I think the Rangers kind of understand we got to take care of business against.
Well, Cameron.
Yes.
If the Sabres beat the Islanders
yes.
off the layoff and Minnesota beats the Kings off the layoff, the Devils haven't played a hockey game since January 31st.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah. No,
Who's got your back?
Yeah, you do.
If those teams, if those two games win, coming off the shelf, ride the hot hand.
Yeah, you're right. I was thinking, I'm like, when the last time the Devils have played? I think about how much work they've done.
January 31st. Is that insane?
January 31st was their last game.
They had 17
half a month ago. I know over half a month. Oh my God.
The Devils were practicing on the hospital ship on the Hudson.
They got the defibrillator out.
Oh my God.
No, honestly, this year's just been. And see the games on Wednesday too, Brian, all the same matchups again. Like everything is Groundhog Day in my life and hockey betting. It's like Ottawa and the Leafs. We got to, it's like, oh my God.
Honestly, but I don't want to say to the folks, they're kind of on their own Wednesday, but you're kind of on
your
own.
are, because we tape this thing, like we get the
Monday and Thursday.
I'm going to tell you how I feel about some of these games.
They're rematches. They're all predicated on how the first game goes.
Exactly. So let's just say this. Say Ottawa shocks the Leafs. You probably come back to the Leafs and parlays and puck line. Chicago, Detroit. If Chicago blows out Detroit, I'd actually look for Detroit to come back. Same thing with Winnipeg and Edmonton. If Winnipeg finds a way, look at Edmonton in the bounce back game. And the one thing is Vancouver and Calgary. Vancouver's a team you really can't trust until they show us at a couple games. That's kind of my take on those games because they're very far ahead.
All right, well, I would say this. If the first game of those sets are high scoring, your starting point is to look at the games.
Yes.
The rematch games to be lower scoring.
Excellent point.
The one thing, it's only a 3-game set, and Vancouver isn't the worst place in the world to be, but it's the end of a road trip for Vancouver, but it's only a 3-game road trip, and then they're going home to play Vancouver again, but it's not like Calgary's going to feel imprisoned up in beautiful Vancouver.
Oh, exactly. If you want to be quarantined anywhere, Vancouver's the city to be, but they can't really do anything. I remember, Brian, when I was there doing my journey to the Cup, that there's a casino right across the street from
they can't go to
from
that.
Rogers. I used to see guys all the time. Like I'm doing my work and I
go to Hastings Park.
Yeah. I'm telling you, that Edgewater Casino across from where the Canucks play, it was money. Great spot too. You'd see the NHLers in the poker room there, they're burning off some steam before the game. Like, is
there a name for that bridge that goes from the one side of the bay to the other? I mean, you talk about just what an unbelievable view.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Vancouver's a postcard, man.
It
costs you $17 for a bag of milk.
Yeah, you're right. Like, think about this. Like Morency, who I do my show with on Sports Grid, he lives there now. So he used to live in New York. New York, I think the rents were like $2,800 US a month. Like Vancouver's like over $2,000 for like a little box. I would say Vancouver is the most expensive city in Canada, more so than Toronto. It is.
Oh, well,
Vancouver is by far the most expensive city in Canada.
By the way,
it's beautiful though.
Do you think I built up with our listeners any Canadian historical equity there that I said milk in a bag?
Yeah. I'm going to tell you something, Brian. this milk in a bag thing is driving me nuts.
It's the stupidest
thing. Lisa just cut, like, we had milk today. I had milk in my coffee. She had milk in her tea. And you know what? I bring the milk out. It's all over the fridge again. It's like, you can't angle the bag properly. It's like, can't you just get a friggin' jug with a lid on it? Like, are you kidding me? Like, every time spilling the milk, it's on an angle. It leaks out the side. It's like, bag milk's a joke. You're right. Like, the thing is, it's really cheap because you get like 3 bags for like $2.99.
I mean, the cow's looking at the farmer going, you're kidding me, right?
Yeah. The cow's like, you're an idiot.
Do you remember, did you ever used to watch Cheers?
Yes, I did.
Do you remember the one episode where Frasier was, Lilith thought he was like a comfortable old shoe and boring.
Yes.
So Frasier was trying to change his image to be a bad boy, and he's running around the bar snapping scissors.
Yeah.
I'm running with scissors. Every time I see that episode, I think of you going to the fridge to get some milk.
You think of Canadian milk and scissors. No, it's just so, like, I don't understand. Like, they did, Brian, let me put this in perspective, though. We do have the cardboard jugs, and we do have the new ones come out in plastic, but I like the way you guys got it, like the big gallon thing. Like, that's the way I want my milk, like a big fat thing of plastic. I'm with you, man. I'm just so sick of bags, but I don't even know how to buy them.
Yeah, Valentine's Day, big math project. I threw Mama a bone. I stopped at the grocery store. Right, that was my Valentine's Day, like a Hallmark card. She wouldn't get an index card. Every day's Valentine's Day. Okay, guys, forget hockey advice. Just tell your woman you love her, and every day's Valentine's Day, and she's got control of the credit.
I got her.
I know,
got her.
You don't need flowers.
You're
an idiot. You sucker.
You're an idiot.
You're an idiot, fool.
Why am I gave
Rhonda the day off from fixing roof shingles. I said, take a break.
I gave her the day off from fixing roof shingles. Come on, Brian. I feel better. I feel better about my relationship after talking to you. I can tell you that. God. I love you. Rhonda's awesome, but yeah, living with you, I let's call it out. Lisa and Rhonda should just have like a day off from us is more than Valentine's Day, I would think.
Well, but the big math problem, the end of the long story was I went to the store. She needed milk. So now I go, I never do this. So I go, and there's a gallon of milk that's $3.29 and 2 half gallons of milk that were $2.99 in the separate. And I'm like, oh, I'll save 29 cents. She'll be happy. I got my head handed to me. What are you doing? You got 2% milk. We just want regular. Look.
Oh, yeah. I like the 2%.
So I handed her the 2 gallons of milk and said, Happy Valentine's Day.
That's what you get your woman. What'd you get for Valentine's Day? 2 gallons of 2% milk. What a joke.
Well, I couldn't get away with that if I was handing her milk in a bag.
Yeah, that's a good point. No, milk in a bag is a big loser play. Let me tell you, from a guy that buys milk in a bag, I regret it every time. It's so stupid. Anyway.
So Wednesday, watch for the high-scoring games and pick a spot or two and maybe come back and zag on the unders in the second game. So, all right, so we're off to the races. I don't know, Cam. Hopefully they've enhanced the protocol. We're talking about these teams, Minnesota and the Sabres, the Devils coming up ridiculous layoffs. Let's hope that they've got this thing calmed down with the rapid testing and maybe they find a rhythm and a groove here, because that was a pretty ugly 2.5, 3 weeks.
Couldn't agree more, Brian. And let's remember one thing too. Like, we're happy guys, and we do a betting show. We don't talk about sadness and bad things. But if there's any extended team who gets it again, like, we're going to be talking about percentage points because they have to play. You know what I mean? And we don't want to have a team that gets into the playoffs that shouldn't get into the playoffs. I agree with you 100%. I hope this thing's I hope we're past it.
I love your serious in perspective there, your tone. But the reality is we do talk about sad things. Like Nate Lashley trying to make 2-footers on 16.
Oh, yeah. I had Nate Lashley at 180 to 1. The guy had smoke coming out. I told Lisa, he did everything but snap that club over his neck.
He buried the club.
He was going to pull a Woody Austin.
Green.
He was going to pull a Woody Austin and smash himself with the club in the head. But anyway, I did pretty good, Brian. I had a lot of piece of burger and stuff, but that would have been a real big win.
The funny thing is, when stuff like that happens, you watch his playing partners. Like Spieth was sprinting like Usain Bolt at a 17th tee. Like, I got to get out of club throwing distance.
Am I the only guy who doesn't love Jordan Spieth too? Like, there's something about, like, it's just one of those things. He's not my type of guy. Like, yeah. And I got to be honest with you, I've never met a luckier player. The guy can't even hit the ball straight, and he finds ways to get in danger all the time. He's a very lucky guy. A great player and all. He's just not my guy.
He's back. He's back though. He's making money.
He is back. He's back. He's back.
He's back. All right, my friend. Hey, as we usually do, again, we remind you the hockeybettingpodcast.ca. We've got articles now, Cam. So when you say fancy big words, well, the next time you say a fancy big word will be the first time. But in case you say a fancy big word, it'll be there in the article, too.
Like dichotomy, home road dichotomy.
All right, that'll be the headline. Cam was not recalcitrant to use the word dichotomy. Let's just now we're just screwing around with the writer.
Yeah, we are. This is the same guy who's talking dichotomy that buys milk in a bag. Trust me, I'm not very bright. We're stupid.
It's time to wrap it up, Cam.
Wrap it up.
You know how to do it. Hey, folks, this is Brian Blessing. Hope you're enjoying the Hockey Betting Podcast. We have a couple chuckles, try to get you a lot of winners. Hey, we hope you like what you're hearing. And if you do, hit the subscribe button and give us a review, give us a rating. Most importantly, enjoy the hockey and keep coming back to the Hockey Betting Podcast.
The handicapping and sports odds information contained on this podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Please confirm the wagering regulations in your jurisdiction as they vary from state to state, province to province, and country to country. Using this information to contravene any law or statute is prohibited. The podcast is not associated with, nor is it endorsed by any professional or collegiate league, association, or team. This podcast does not target and is not intended for an audience under the age of 18. If you think that you have a gambling addiction, stop this podcast now and please seek help.
Gambling and betting on sports is a form of entertainment and should be about having a good time. But when done excessively, it may negatively affect other areas of a person's life, such as their physical and mental health, school or work performance, finances, and or interpersonal relationships. At the Hockey Betting Podcast, we're concerned about the addiction that gambling may cause, and for this reason, we encourage everyone to practice responsible gambling, an approach to gambling that helps you ensure that it remains an enjoyable activity. Here are the main principles of responsible gambling. Don't think of gambling as a way to make money. Always gamble with money that you can afford to lose. Set limits and stick to them. Never chase losses. Don't gamble when you're depressed or upset, and create a healthy balance. Always be aware of how much time you spend gambling or thinking about gambling. And do not allow gambling to cause you to miss out on time with family and friends or time spent on other activities you enjoy. By following these guidelines, gambling can be a good time and great entertainment. If you feel at any time that your gambling is taking away from important areas of your life, is causing you stress or depression, or is leading to financial losses that are beyond your control, please reach out for help. Learn more at responsiblegambling.org.